All right, we are officially moving past the era of viewing AI as just some cute chat assistant. As we start building out these really complex, long-running systems and autonomous AI coworkers, we've accidentally triggered a massive enterprise architecture problem that is literally draining bank accounts. So today, in this explainer, we're going to solve it.
Here's our roadmap for today. We'll be quickly covering the AI spending crisis, the invisible token tax, rethinking AI economics, 4 architectural levers to fix things, and finally, the real AI moat.
Let's jump right into Section 1, the AI spending crisis.
As enterprise AI shifts towards these agentic workflows that just do way more heavy lifting per task, they naturally consume a ton more tokens. The big question isn't, is AI useful anymore? It's, can it actually produce enough useful work to justify this soaring cost? Think about this alarming stat reported by Fortune. Uber had an allocated budget for their AI coding tools that was supposed to last them all the way through 2026. Well, they burned through that entire budget in just 4 months. 4 months!
And honestly, we're seeing this across the board. Ramp just released a report showing a staggering 4x year-over-year increase in monthly AI spend. This isn't just a gradual, expected climb. It's a vertical spike in operational expenses, and most financial models simply aren't built to handle a hit like that.
To really put this panic into perspective, Deloitte's 2025 Tech Value Survey found that over half of respondents are allocating between 21 and 50% of their entire digital initiative budgets directly to AI. The average? A massive 36%. The big takeaway here is pretty clear. Token consumption is rising at lightning speed, but the actual business value? Not so much. It's totally unsustainable.
Which brings us to Section 2, the invisible token tax.
So, why exactly is this happening? You're probably thinking, I'm just typing simple prompts. How on earth is my bill this high? Well, think of it like an iceberg. Up top, you have your tiny, visible user prompt, something like, analyze churn risk for these accounts. But beneath the surface, there's this massive, invisible scaffolding. System instructions, tool schemas, retrieved documents, intermediate reasoning, and memory traces. In an enterprise system, the vast majority of the tokens you pay for are never even typed by the user.
Here is the real kicker. The waste isn't hiding in any single prompt. It's actually baked right into the design of the system itself. If your architecture is just lazily retrieving too much context or triggering too many tools, your token consumption skyrockets, and you get absolutely zero gain in output quality. Ultimately, this is an architecture problem.
All right, moving on to Section 3, rethinking AI economics.
To stop bleeding cash, we've got to throw out the old paradigm of just tracking raw token usage. Usage is dictated by the whole system around the model, right? So we need a totally new metric. We have to shift our focus entirely to token yield. What is that? It's simply what useful outcome the system produces per token consumed. This has to be your ultimate metric. It forces you to look at the whole picture, how context is retrieved, how tools are exposed, and how the actual work gets broken down.
So how do we actually pull this off? That's Section 4, 4 architectural levers.
To drastically improve our token yield, we're going to pull 4 very specific architectural levers: context quality, model routing, continual learning, and harness design. Let's break these down one by one.
Starting with lever number 1, context quality. Look, most enterprise AI failures start right here. Models are basically just processing engines. They don't instinctively know which context matters. They just process whatever you throw at them. If your retrieval is noisy, the model is going to waste your budget reasoning over completely irrelevant or conflicting information. The solution is never to just stuff more data into the prompt. The solution is to retrieve better data.
And we have hard proof of this hidden tax. In a recent benchmark of Claude Cowork-style tasks, an off-the-shelf set of tools was tested against Glean's centralized index. Glean was preferred 2.5 times as often. But here's the crazy part. When the off-the-shelf tools did actually manage to get the answer right, they chewed through 83,000 tokens to do it. Glean needed only 43,000. That means weaker retrieval forces your system to compensate by overfetching and spamming tool calls. Better context means you spend your tokens actually solving the problem, not just assembling it.
That flows perfectly into our second lever, model routing. We really need to accept that not every single operational step, like a basic search or validation check, requires the absolute most expensive frontier reasoning model on the market. We have to use the right level of intelligence for the specific job at hand.
If your default is pushing every single routine task through a frontier model, your enterprise is literally paying premium prices for basic admin work. Right sizing is absolutely key here. Save your expensive frontier reasoning for tasks where it actually creates differentiated value, and rely on specialized, much cheaper models where the work is narrow and repeatable. It instantly boosts your token yield.
Okay, lever number 3 is continual learning. Think about how we work as humans. When you figure out a really complex problem or write an amazing template, you save it, right? You document it so you don't have to start from a blank page again next week. Enterprise AI systems need to work the exact same way, by accumulating trace data from past executions. AI should absolutely not be solving the same class of problem from scratch every single time.
When you set it up properly, your system actually learns. It executes a task, gathers data on which tools and retrieval paths worked, and then uses that intel to skip failed paths the next time around. Because of this, the system converges so much faster on repeated work. Essentially, every completed task improves the economics of the next related one. Your system compounds in value and actually lowers costs over time, instead of paying that same exploratory tax again and again.
Our final lever is harness design. As your agents start taking on these longer, multi-step workflows, the harness, the underlying structure holding it all together, becomes a massive determinant of your costs. A naive harness just keeps expanding the active context window, carrying forward every single instruction, every tool, and every intermediate output step after step. Your costs explode, and your reliability just tanks.
You fix this by implementing much better harness rules. You have to treat context as a scarce resource to manage, not something to just lazily accumulate. Scope your tools only to the current step. Distribute the workload across specialized agents, and please externalize that intermediate state instead of keeping it all stuffed in active memory. Give each model exactly the working set it needs and nothing more, so it doesn't just collapse under the weight of context bloat.
Finally, we arrive at Section 5, the real AI moat. As we wrap up this explainer, I want to completely shift how you think about competitive advantage. Our source material sums it up perfectly. The real AI moat is execution efficiency. Having an edge isn't about bragging rights for having the biggest, most expensive models anymore. The true advantage goes to the enterprise that builds the most structurally efficient system around those models. That is how you win. So I want to leave you with this one question to think about. Is your enterprise AI system built to learn, or is it just built to burn tokens? Take a hard look at your architecture, start applying these 4 levers, and really maximize that token yield. Thank you so much for joining me for this explainer, and I honestly can't wait to see how you optimize your system.